All right, friends, so today we are exploring measure angles. So go ahead and write that in your notebook. Okay, so go ahead and draw a circle. We're going to be using a circle. I know my circle's not perfect right there. I'm doing the best I can. I don't have a protractor right now or a compass to draw that. So I am going to kind of eyeball the center here and draw two perpendicular lines. So go ahead and draw this in your notebook as well. So we're going to be using this circle as a frame of reference throughout the rest of this lesson. And I want you to think about what the angle measure is of each of those right angles. In your notebook, I want you to answer the question here. How can you prove with this image that each angle measures 90 degrees? Okay, so you don't have to write that question down. I just want you to write your response down. So go ahead and pause right here until you've gotten a response and giving yourself a chance to really think about it. After you've written your response, go ahead and unpause the video. Okay, friends, so I hope that you've paused and now unpaused the video and are checking for understanding right now. Okay, the question asks you to prove it was 90 degrees, right? I know that each of you knows a right angle is 90 degrees. But how many degrees is a full circle right there? Go ahead and grab a post-it note. I should have given you one before starting this video. And I want you to measure the length of your post-it note and break it up halfway on each of those. Okay, we're going to use these square corners right here 90 degrees and flip them inwards to prove that each of those is 90 degrees right there. So I have already done that, but what you need to do is get a ruler. It should be 3 inches long. So halfway would be an inch and a half, inch and a half, inch and a half, inch and a half. And then I want you to draw an arc connecting each of those points, labeling each of those angles A, B, C, and D. So what I mean by that, I've already done it here. I'm going to put my square corners on the outside, put my puzzle piece back together here. There's the inside. Square corner goes out. Okay, so after you've got yours drawn just like I do here, go ahead and cut it out just like I did. And pause right here until you're caught up. Okay, I hope you paused and unpaused the video and are able to work with your puzzle pieces now. So as I take this out, the center piece, I've got all of these 90 degrees, right? So I can now put them together to form a circle, just like my original image. Now my cutting might not have been perfect, so it might not still be perfect, but you get the idea. Okay, so we have 4 groups of 90-degree angles right here. So ask yourself, how many degrees is the full circle? Well, we have 90 times 4, right? Well, 9 times 4 is 36, so 90 times 40 is 360 degrees. Okay, so make sure that you've written that down in your notebook, and go ahead and tape in your notebook on that page your puzzle pieces, just like we did here. Okay, so moving on to the next, pause if you need to catch up, but when you're ready, unpause the video. So move on to the next clean page, and go ahead and use the place value blocks that are at your table to complete this next part. We're still exploring angle measures, so go ahead and write that on your next page as well. I'm just going to leave mine here as I erase. Okay, so as we put our puzzle pieces together, they all came to a point, right? So I can do the same thing with other polygons. Okay, go ahead and put your 4 pattern blocks together, just like I did here. And I want you to imagine as if I cut off the ends right here. Okay, so I've got my circle. So again, I can figure out just what one angle is. And I know you know it's 90 degrees because it's a square, right? But if I cut this out and all of these come to a point, then each of those is a fraction of the circle, 1/4 of the circle. So each square then, the angle measures equals 90 degrees, because I know 90 times 4 equals 360, or 360 divided by 4 equals 90, using my fact family right there. So on your journal page, we're going to explore some other different measures of angles using when they come to a point, forming a circle, and dividing that fraction from 90 or from 360 degrees. Go ahead and draw a triangle on your page. I'm going to draw here. I'm going to label this angle A. You can't see it real well, but that's an A right there. I want you to ask yourself, what is the measure of angle A right there? Okay, so go ahead and take several pattern blocks of the triangle and put them together so that they form a point. Okay, so now I've got 6 triangles that formed a point right there. So the measure of angle A would be 360 divided by 6. Okay, so 360 degrees divided by 6. Well, you could look at it this way. Half of 360 is 180. 180, you could do that divided by 3, right? But either way, when you do that, you're going to get the answer 60. So the measure of angle A is 60 degrees. So you can do this with other pattern blocks, and on your journal page 66, it's going to ask you to find the measure of different pattern blocks. So you can rewatch this video as many times as you need to, but what you need to do is just like we did with A, which is actually the first problem on your page 66, to put them together to form a point, and then divide 360 by the total number of place value blocks that formed that point to find those specific angle measures. You're also going to see on there things like the measure of angle A. You see that little M right there? It simply means for you to just read that little M as the word measure right there, okay? It's also important to remember our angle symbol right there, and that you're using that appropriate angle measure as you progress through your work today. All right, friends, thanks for watching. Happy math!